labor having a moment. The UAW strike in week 4, and now there is a deadline tonight at midnight for Detroit casino workers to walk out if they don't reach a contract deal. And really, it's the bigger conversations that we are all having in our homes right now, not only here in Michigan, but across the country, is what's a fair wage and how should companies keep up with inflation for workers? How should they be compensated? We're going to start with the UAW today, really, and the warning that Shawn Fain made a few days ago on Friday afternoon that another strike at other plants could come at any time, that he's not going to be following this weekly schedule that he had before. And he really went after Ford last week, who came out and said, hey, this is the final deal. This is all we've got. We can't give any more. Fain doesn't believe that's the case. Well, today, Chairman Bill Ford Jr. came out and spoke about where the negotiations are, how this positions their company, and especially with the striking Kentucky plant. Here's what he had to say just this morning.
This should not be Ford versus the UAW. It should be Ford and the UAW versus Toyota, Honda, Tesla, and all the Chinese companies that want to enter our home market. Toyota, Honda, Tesla, and the others are loving this strike because they know the longer it goes on, the better it is for them. They will win, and all of us will lose. And we agree that our UAW colleagues deserve even more. And that's why we've offered a record contract which would make our UAW employees among the best paid manufacturing workers in the world. Despite this, the UAW leaders decided to escalate and strike our Kentucky truck plant last week. Shutting down that plant harms tens of thousands of Americans right away, workers, suppliers, and dealers alike. It hurts the communities that depend on these local economies. If it continues, it will have a major impact on the American economy and devastate local communities.
That's 8,700 workers alone there out of that Kentucky plant. And of course, Ford has the largest number of UAW workers, about 57,000 of them. All right, I want to get some analysis right now from Rod Maloney. He's live. Hey, Rod, it's good to see you on this Monday as we look where things stand now. Can you tell us really what the significance was of Bill Ford Jr. coming out and speaking today?
Well, it's the first time that he has spoken publicly about this situation, and if you remember how this has gone traditionally, the companies don't say anything until after they have a deal. They don't want to say something that's going to sort of poison the well, if you will, in terms of getting to a deal. But it's clear that Shawn Fain has, at least in Bill Ford's perspective, kind of really gone way out of bounds here. And this is sort of him saying, look, I've been around a long time. I've seen this come. I've seen him go. I care deeply about the UAW. I have the most number of UAW auto workers in this country. We could have moved jobs to Mexico, more jobs than we did, but we have expanded our footprint with more UAW workers in this country. And to call us out the way he has, Bill Ford is saying, just unfair, not right, shouldn't happen, needs to stop. And it was him basically saying also that Shawn Fain's kind of had an open field run for the last month, and he couldn't let that go on any longer.
You hear Bill Ford talking about also the sustainability of the company, because if you're putting so much financial stress on it that it can't afford to do the wages, that they have to then all of a sudden start shutting down plants, they can't produce the way they are. When he spoke in stark terms about Tesla going to win this thing, what was your thought on that, Rod?
Well, I mean, that's making the point here, is that if you're going to go as hard at Ford and really the domestic three as Shawn Fain has, you have to understand that that comes with a price. And in as much as Shawn Fain wants guarantees for his workforce, he wants to have jobs going forward. Bill Ford saying, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're not going to get what you want.
All right, so then this is the back and forth now. And, you know, you and I have talked to Merrick Masters, the Wayne State University business professor, and he said a couple of days ago, look, you know, the company should not be engaging in this tit for tat that's back and forth with Shawn Fain. But the next question is really now, it's up to the UAW. What's their response to Ford's statement today going to be, and could we be seeing, you know, more strikes?
Well, I don't know if we'll see more strikes. I can tell you that Sean Fain isn't going to, go along with what Bill Ford is saying. In fact, he refuted virtually everything that Bill Ford said today in previous rants that he's had on Facebook Live. And so it comes down to how they're doing at the bargaining table, and we'll have to see how that's all going. I do know that the discussion last week was largely about the JVs, and that this move, the economic side that Fain brought to the table was a complete left-hand turn for the Ford leadership, and they're not quite certain what to do with all of this, and I think that might have also prompted why Bill Ford came out today.
All right, thanks so much. Rod Maloney's going to be staying on this for us, and we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Looking for news at 4, 5, and 6. Appreciate it, Rod.